again on short notice in Shanghai. Legend, future UFC Hall of Famer, Michael Bisping is with us. Mike, very kind of you, man, to give us a few minutes today, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, no problem, guys. Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I'm on my way to the gym. So I have plenty of time to talk to you good people.
Jason Perillo's like, you got to be shitting me. I got to go to Shanghai for Thanksgiving. So, Mike, I'm calling the fights in Norfolk, Virginia. We're about to announce Jose Aldo as Frankie Edgar's replacement at UFC 218. My stage manager hands me a card that says Bisping versus Gastelum in Shanghai. Now, I'm going for Thanksgiving, so I'm very excited in the moment, but a little bit surprised. Maybe I shouldn't have been. So, Bisping to the rescue, man. I mean, how did this all come together? It sounds to me like you made contact with Dana first.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's kind of funny because Jason Perillo is going out to Shanghai anyway. He's cornering Kylan Curran. And I actually joked about it prior to my fight with GSP. I was like, maybe I'll come out there and help you corner. I've never been to Shanghai. So this is kind of surreal. So what happened was last Friday, I'm in the car with my wife and my in-laws. We're heading out for lunch. And I hear on Sirius XM on the Luke Thomas show, Anderson Silva tests positive for steroids again, and he's out of the fight, and they are looking for a replacement. And I'm driving down the street, and I'm like, what do you think? I said to my wife, I said, I can fly out there. I'll fight him. And they're like, no, don't be silly. I'm like, yeah, I think I will. I said, why not? Because, since the GSP fight, obviously, it didn't go my way, and all credit to George. But it just, I mean, I've got no excuses, but, I had bad ribs going into that fight. I had a couple of, little things bothering me. I hurt myself the very last day of training, which was bloody typical. And it's just been haunting me ever since and, kind of keeping me up at night, So the best way to exercise those demons is to get right back in there, get back in the win column, eradicate that loss, and let's be honest, get paid 2 paydays for 1 training camp. So it's a win-win if you ask me. So, yeah, I text Dana. I said, I know a guy that has no injuries that fought a week ago. And he said, interesting. I text back, very. 20 minutes later, he gave me a phone call. Dana was very he said, listen, if you want to do this, you got to get checked out. We've got to get the medical team to look at you. And, he was actually very concerned about my safety. He said, believe it or not, I like you outside of fighting, so I want to make sure you're okay. And I was like, listen, I'm totally fine. He's like, yeah, whatever, Dr. Bisping. We got to get you checked out. But, yeah, there we go. That's how the fight was made.
Mike, I speak a few different languages. I don't think I speak savage. Can you understand me? Do you know what I'm saying right now?
Well, fortunately, I speak savage loud and clear.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, you are a savage. First of all, what do you before we get into the fight against Kelvin, what did you think about Anderson Silva popping, first of all?
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It's disappointing. It really is. I mean, he tested positive once before. We all know about that. And just the fact that he did it again, I mean, he's tarnished his legacy for good now. I mean, he'll probably never, ever fight again. That's the end of his career. He's probably looking at a 4-year ban now. And, I think he managed to somehow, avoid mass criticism. The last time he tested positive, there was all this, fancy footwork that him and his team were doing. But now it's just undeniable. I mean, of course, they're going to come out. They're going to talk about tainted supplements and all that stuff. It's disappointing, but, it's not surprising. So many people do it in this sport, and it's just a sad fact. I mean, where are the real men? Where are the real men that are just willing to fight, that do martial arts and are willing to test themselves with their skill and their courage? Because there doesn't seem to be many of them around.
Well, I think we're talking to one right now. But, Mike, listen, your fight against Kelvin, how much do you know about Kelvin? Have you guys trained together?
Never trained with him.
You haven't? Okay.
Never. I mean, I don't know anything about Kelvin Gastelum. I don't know. Seriously, and I'm not even going to watch any tape of his. It's just. This isn't about Kelvin Gastelum. This is for me. I've got nothing against Kelvin. Kelvin, by all accounts, is a nice guy. I've said hello to him once, I think. Nothing to say bad about Kelvin. I'm not going to turn this into a war of words. I'm not going to talk any trash. I've got nothing bad to say about the guy. I'm not trying to sell pay-per-views. You know, this is about me. You know, listen, I was laying in bed the other night on Monday night, and my wife's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "What the fuck do you think's wrong with me? Fucking lost my belt at the weekend. I'm pissed off, you know, and I can't get over it. I'm a competitor, and I like to win." That said, you take it like a man. I'm not a pussy. I'm not going to cry myself to sleep. But I was, you know, a little annoyed. I didn't fight to the best of my ability. I had a great training camp. I injured myself the last day of camp, and I could hardly move my torso, and I was just a little pissed off. And then when this happened, I'm like, here we go. This is perfect. This gives me a chance at everything, you know. Gives me a chance to get back in there, a chance to get paid again, but more importantly, to get back in the win column and fight to the best of my ability.
So for you, this is more about kind of healing after the loss and just kind of feeling better and kind of erasing that last performance a bit.
This is me exercising my demons, my mental demons. So Hunter Campbell, he's the UFC's like head, you know, lawyer, if you will, head of legal. He called me, and he again once again he was stressing my health. You know, he said, "Mike, we need to make sure that you're fine. You know, we can't have you going." I'm like, "Listen, Hunter, I'm totally fine. I'm totally fine. Physically, I'm great." I said, mentally, I'm not good. Mentally, I'm pissed off. And the only way I'm going to fix that is by fighting again, ASAP. And this is right there. It's round the corner. I'm in shape. All right, I'm a little bit heavy again. I don't know how the hell I put so much weight on so fast. In fact, I do, because I've pretty much lived off restaurants and alcohol for the last 7 days. You know, this is about me, you know, clearing my head, clearing my mental space, and just trying to go out there and have a good performance.
Michael Bisping with us here on the Anakin Florian podcast. I do want to spend 1 minute here, Mike, on the GSP fight, because I'd imagine the quick turnaround and the circumstances surrounding it will make it easier to close the book on that. But you certainly had your chances, man. I mean, the first thing St. Pierre said to you was that fight could have gone either way and that you're the toughest guy he's ever fought. So I don't know if you want to erase this performance necessarily, man. There was a lot of good in there, I thought.
Yeah, well, that's what everybody keeps saying to me. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't watched it back. Anytime I see any interviews, I can't watch them. I'm not interested. You know, at the end of the day, I lost the fight. I wobbled him a couple of times in the second round with the right hand. I felt, I was able to get back to my feet whenever I wanted. In the second round, I was landing some good elbows from my back. And I thought, geez, I'm beating him up pretty good here. But then I thought, of course, you're still losing in the judge's eyes, so it's time to get up. And as soon as I thought that was the moment I got up, so I could get up whenever I wanted. I think I let him, I think I overstressed the takedown aspect a little bit. I mean, the first round, the game plan was always to try and be elusive with my footwork so he couldn't set up a shot. You know, that was the plan, but looking back in hindsight, I shouldn't have done that. Looking back in hindsight, I should have, you know, just thrown caution to the wind. But, I felt good. I felt great. I could see him gassing in that third round. He had blood pouring all over his face, and he was breathing super heavy, and I felt good. You know, we were in a scramble, and he landed a clean left hook, man, that just put me down. He followed up with some nice elbows and got the choking, you know. So, you know, God bless him. Good for him. You know, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm taking things away from me. I didn't perform as well as I could have done. It was, you know, people say it was a good fight and this and that, but it still stings.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it does. All right, real quickly before we let you go, and again, very gracious of you to carve out some time as you go to train. I can't even believe it. So your son, Callum, of course, we've had him as a guest on the show before. We are reaching a new audience, though, now because we're with Fox Sports. So Callum, guys, 16 or 17 years old. I'm not sure. He's a monster wrestler, good athlete there in California. Maybe going to test the amateur MMA waters at some point, Mike, but given what you've done in bolstering your legacy to such an extent over the last 2 years, I mean, this was a tough act to follow before. Now you're like not even giving him a chance with what you've done.
I love the fact that you always give Callum a shout out, John. I really appreciate that, as will he. You know, I mean, to be honest, I mean, there's many reasons why I'm taking this fight, you know, but ultimately, I used to work dead-end jobs. I used to work for minimum wage. I used to work for £3.55 an hour. And I quit work to become a professional fighter to provide for my family, plain and simple. So you know, another payday so quick. I mean, I'm still in shape. I'm going to go spar right now with Rafael Dos Anjos and do some pad work with Perillo, do a little bit of grappling. But I do this to provide for my family. I'm fortunate. I'm on a great contract, so I get paid well. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to set myself up for the future. I'll probably have one more fight in London and then call it a day. But, I do this for my children. Honestly, I don't want Callum to fight. I want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to Georges St Pierre. Well done. Well done. You had a great fight and a good performance. And best of luck to Kelvin Gastelum. I'll see him next week in China. Can't even believe I'm saying that. We're rallying around at the minute, arranging my visa and all kinds of stuff. So that's a major distraction. But, hopefully tune in on Fight Pass next week, and hopefully I get the win.
All right, my man. Well, I know you don't take compliments all that well, but even taking this fight just adds to your legend and your legacy. Michael Bisping, Kelvin Gastelum, Saturday, November 25th, 7 a.m. Eastern on UFC Fight Pass. Mike, appreciate the time, man. Stay healthy. Go get the passport pics, and I'll see you in Shanghai, man.
When do we fight, John? Do you know what time of that day?
It's going to be at night in Shanghai, so you don't have to worry about that.
Michael doesn't care. He really doesn't care. Hey, by the way, Mike, you're undefeated in China, man, so far, right? So good luck.
Yeah, exactly. I'm undefeated in China.
That's right.
I'm undefeated in England. I'm undefeated in title challenges, just not in defenses. So, I don't know. You can spin it a lot of positive ways, guys. Thanks, he's got my ass kicked.